After spending over £1,000 on a RTX graphics card, namely the 2080 Ti a while back, I thought to myself, you know what, I need something to really justify that purchase. And what justifies that purchase more than a game from 1997? Specifically, Quake 2, or Quake 2 RTX, which is Quake 2 but uses RTX, so ray traced lighting and shadows and reflections and everything. So this was on sale in the Steam sale for like £1, the full version of Quake 2, but you can access Quake 2 RTX for free and play the shareware version of Quake 2 to actually try it for free if you're just curious. Some of you might be saying, oh, hang on a minute, Gamer Muscle, what you didn't have Quake 2? Why didn't you have Quake 2? What's wrong with you? You're old. You're like, hang on, how old am I? 47 apparently. you're 47 years old and you don't have Quake 2. Well, no, I do. I had bought like 5 or 6 copies of Quake 2 in the past. I even had that absolutely awesome Doom collector's box, which I bought from a computer fair. Do you remember them? You would like turn up at the thing. You'd pay like £1.50 to enter, and then they would have like games that you could buy for cheap or computer components. This is like before the internet was really like dominant. This was before Amazon. Anyway, so I had that Doom collector's box, which was bloody fantastic, but I didn't have it on Steam. So I used the Steam sale as an excuse to get the full version of Quake 2, and I've used RTX as an excuse to load it up and actually have a go on it. And I thought I'll record it and talk to you guys whilst we have a investigation. How generous of me. So first things first, though, this is really nice. Look at his reflections. Proper, like, nice water as well. I'm not seeing any grass. I mean, I guess that's grass, but that was a letdown of Quake 2. Not much, but this was 1997. You didn't really have much grass anyway in 1997. But, you know, I mean, it looks nice and shiny. The lighting's obviously really nice. You'll notice our frame rate is like 79 FPS. And there's not much happening. That is the downside of ray tracing lighting. It looks great, but it is rather heavy. I mean, for reference, well, first of all, we're actually running this with we're running dynamic resolution. So it's not even running at max resolution here. Where's this setting? We've got dynamic resolution and even then we're only hitting like 80 FPS. If I run it at the basic setting, I can't be bothered to change it back, but if I run it at the non-dynamic setting, we seem to get 40 FPS. So that's the downside, but the plus side is, look at these. This game is vintage, but the character animations, the weapons and everything else is also vintage, but the lighting is modern. And look at that reflection. Whoa, hello. So, I mean, does RTX transform something? No, not really, because, you know, gameplay's gameplay. Gameplay's not graphics. I'd say, actually... Oh, my God, I'm getting slaughtered here. Playing Quake 2 in VR has a much... Come on. This guy's invincible. Oh, he's lost his head. There we go. Playing Quake 2 in VR has a much bigger impact on the graphical perception and actual gameplay of the game using hand controllers than this RTX mode. I guess the next thing would be to do RTX in VR, but then you need like a absolute supercomputer to do that. As I say, 2080 Ti here with a AMD 3900, and this is getting 80 FPS. Wow, but look at the light. Look at the light, guys. It's all about the light. Look at the way the bullets illuminate the room as they travel through it. Have I not picked up another gun yet? What is this? I'm dead. Okay, let's try that again. We've got flares, apparently, to illuminate things. Oh, dear. It's really interesting playing older first-person shooters like Quake and Doom, if you haven't played them for a while, especially if you've played modern ones. I actually, for me personally, I actually find the sort of presentation of the original Doom, Wolfenstein, Quake, these types of titles, they're sort of hands-off. I mean, I realise they're fairly linear in terms of the corridors and stuff and what's going on, so you don't really have to push the player around, tell them what to do with narration and stuff. But that hands-off experience of these older games, where it's like, you're in the environment, get to the end of it, get to the end of the level, to me, it makes a much more immersive experience and more compelling, despite the crappy graphics, animations and everything, than if I play modern first-person shooters. The moment I have, like, there'll be like a character on the radio going, "Oh, this is the situation. The Bingle Bob people have been tortured by the Flibble Dob people, and you've been inserted here to go and activate the McSpingle Bob that's located on top of the Hill Dingle. The Hill Dingle will then be displayed on your map, and you'll then have icons telling you to go to the Hill Dingle to push E on it. And all through the game, it'll be illuminating exactly what you have to do, and you'll get little bits of cutscenes and story and stuff." To me, that sort of presentation of a game, despite it allowing for different types of maps maybe and some things that are slightly more interesting, but that type of presentation to me really kills immersion. Oh, here we go, new gun. But yeah, it's like the last FPS I really played where I got totally immersed in it was probably like Portal 2 and Portal 1. Other than that, I can enjoy them as games, but I get sucked into this sort of leave the player to just play through it and work out for themselves kind of thing. I'd say even Half-Life 2, actually I quite enjoyed, but even Half-Life 2 I think was a little bit guilty of your feelings if you're being pushed around rather than it kind of feeling organic. So that's that story. Hope you guys enjoyed that story about my perception of FPSs. I don't know if you guys feel the same though, if it's just me. If any of you know of any sort of modern hands-off FPS games that have this sort of classical playthrough style without the over-the-top narration, then please let me know in the comment section, because I'd love to play through them. To be honest, I'm cautiously optimistic that some of the new VR titles might do that, but just through the necessity of an indie developer doesn't necessarily have the time to do like voiceover and all the random stuff, and so they kind of are forced to doing like this kind of Quake 2 presentation, this old school style of presenting a game. Did I pick up a key? The last time I did this was a long time ago. Have I done things right or wrong? So is that another lift I was supposed to go through? Now this is an example of why players are told exactly what to do, because otherwise they run around like an idiot. Oh, here we go, loading. It's quite interesting now you have that loading through lift shafts sort of thing, and it's quite interesting now. Obviously this came out in 1997, the original. How Half-Life 1 did sort of try to smooth over the loading screens to make it feel like a cohesive experience as well. Half-Life 1, actually, to me, another example of an absolutely fantastic game. To me, actually, Half-Life 1 is pretty much the Half-Life 1, Half-Life Blue Shift, Opposing Force. Absolutely fantastic. They're the perfect games for me. Well, am I doing something wrong here? No, there we go. Got a little bit lost there, guys. Sorry about that. I needed my sat nav. So I I really liked the original Serious Sam game, but I feel like they kind of lost their way when they moved away from just being kind of simple. And they ended up getting a bit more convoluted and trying to put more story in it. It was like, no, it was all about the just running around and killing stuff quickly. It was cool. Look at this. The guy on the spike. You got to be careful when crossing bridges. You never know when they might collapse and you end up impaled on a low polygon object on the floor. I know it's part of the bridge. It would have been stood on it, and it collapsed and impaled him. That's rather unfortunate. Bad luck, mate. Look at this. Nice little bit of ambient sound. That's another thing, actually. The sounds are kind of more obvious in these older types of older games. These sounds are more simplified, which I find like listen to this sort of dripping sound effect, and the water, and the random stuff happening. I don't know, there's something... Maybe it's just because I'm old and this is what I experienced at that time of mental development, so to me it's like remains being like super immersive in a weird way. But I think Half-Life 1 definitely... Look at that light in there. Is there an AI that's casting... There you go, look at that. That's cool. Just need this with some better textures in a new game and you're done. That does look right. That does look nice pathfinding there. That does visually look really nice. You do get, I think, with sort of global illumination type shading and the actual depth to these things, you do get a better sense of scale actually from the environment. They've actually they have changed the textures. This is one of the updates that Quake 2 RTX actually had, I think, like last week. They made the reflections and highlights and stuff and the lighting a bit more dynamic looking, which I think has actually helped a lot. It just gives a better sense of does definitely give a better sense of scale to things compared to the original, which was very Quake 2 original. The original Quake 2 definitely does look very dingy. It's a very dingy game. Which is meant to be. It's the style of the game. Hello! Oh, was I meant to do that? I don't get squashed against the wall there. Do I use my flare down here? Let's have a look. Look at that! Oh, we're loading. Went down the hole, loading. Time for a sip of tea.
Computer updated. Recon established and confirm heavy fortification near enemy comm.
Oh, this blue light looks great. So yeah, I think I stopped mid-sentence there. And let me know in comments if I'm just going mental, but I stopped mid-sentence when I was talking about the audio. In Half-Life 1's audio, they had a real specific, highly advanced audio engine for the reflections of the sound and the actual different materials in the environment causing different soundscapes, which with the slower pacing of that more sort of puzzle type gameplay combined with the action, I think really draws you in as a player. And that pacing aspect of these games, Jesus Christ, that slower pacing or sort of action with a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a puzzle, you know. Again, I think that gives you an opportunity to really appreciate the environments and really get drawn into it. Whereas with a lot of the... I'm just having a go at modern FPS games. Just explain the reasons why I'm not particularly into them so much. A lot of them, you just have constant action. It's relentless. And so there's no downtime. It's like a good piece of music, you know? Like if you're listening to, whether it be classical music, trance or something, you know, whatever, other than like 3-minute pop songs, but a really good piece of music normally has some down bits in it, you know, a little bit of downtime there for you to for a build up. It's all about that anticipation. That's often lost, I think, in modern FPSs, or not as prominent. Yeah. There's probably games that have come out that do this. Let me know in the comments. Like, as I say, modern FPS games that tick these boxes I'm talking about, because I'd enjoy playing them. I'd really like to get back into playing FPSs a bit. And we definitely have. We've got the Black Mesa mod, which is the remake of Half-Life 1 in the Source engine. That should be coming out next month. I mean, it's already out. You can buy it and play it now. But the full, effectively beta, the full version of it, should be out next month. So I'll be playing all through that. So that's Half-Life 1 again. That's a shame that's not RTX. That would have been amazing. But yeah. There's a certain balance that I feel games don't quite get right. I mean, I really enjoyed the Call of Duty games, the old Call of Duty games, and I quite enjoyed the single player of the first Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Black Ops 2 single player, but then they kind of just felt very samey. And again, they did suffer from pacing. So I enjoyed them, but I don't think they were particularly good. Oh dear, stuck in the past here, guys. This is Mr. Max Payne. Mr. Max Payne Half-Life 1. No wonder I'm like a 300-year-old. Oh, look at this. Absolutely massacring them here. Right, I'm so glad I got the 2080 Ti to play this. Oh, the glass is broken. Auto glass replace. Auto glass repair. Jeez, these little dog things are right shenanigans. Lost half my health there. Oh, I didn't know what? I did enjoy the new Doom. Was it 2012 that came out? I did enjoy that. I mean, playing it all in one sitting for charity probably wasn't the best idea. It did give me some strange dreams, and you know, and it was fairly relentless. But it did what it said on the tin, and it did it pretty well. So here's an RTX feature. We have real cameras. Great. And we've also got a reflection of this environment on the screen of the cameras. Wow. This changes the game totally, doesn't it? That's kind of cool. I remember seeing, like, was it Half-Life 2? That had it was in one of the demos where you had remote cameras or something. You had it in Half-Life 1 actually, with the van on the outside of Assault. You could use the screen on that. But Half-Life 2 had a whole like advanced camera system. I think it could do it in different areas or something. I don't know. It had something different about it. Where am I going now? I've got a key. Let's get some ammo here. I've got the key. There's a door presumably somewhere that I need to get. Oh, we can get that. Let's get that pack. Look at this. Parkour with gamer muscle. Oops. Oh. Did I not want to do that? That might have been the wrong decision. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I did there. Look at that. The explosion lighting up the room. I thought tab was map on this. I feel like I don't feel like I should be backtracking this much. No, we came in through there. backtrack too far, guys. The door for the key was probably in the room that we were initially in there. Oh my god. Go back to the shotgun here. They look terrible. I can't remember if Quake 2 was, if you load it up through 1997, so it'll be Windows 95, I guess. So I can't remember loading this up in DOS. I don't know if there was a DOS version of this. There we go. He was just shooting his teammate then. I think what's weird as well is if you're an old fogey like myself and you play these kind of games, you do kind of reminisce in the fact that you remember when you had like PC Format and PC Gamer, both of which I think are defunct now. But you remember when you see these games on the covers and you're like, oh my god, the graphics, the incredible technology. And it was, like, obviously it moved things forwards a lot and things were happening in sort of the 90s, from like 90, well, from any of the 90s really to like 2000 and probably 2006. Stuff was like moving so fast with PC games that every like month on the magazine it'd be like, oh my god, what's this game? What's coming out here? And they were genuinely like really massive changes between them, because it was a sort of the technological growth was so much that it allowed people to obviously innovate with the gameplay where they'd been held back before. So each game would typically have something in it that was a massive change. So like in level loading or proper, well, like enemies with body parts that come off them, or like better, just general better graphics, or online, like actual multiplayer, even with 56k modem, like multiplayer that was relatively playable despite having a bit of lag. Oh, I did not. What? Okay. I didn't mean to do that, but it worked. So now I think what's happened is games are kind of, FPS games have really kind of stabilised with the, I didn't mean to go down there. With the sort of AAA devs doing the Call of Duty type titles repeatedly. Oh, I've got a new secret gun. Hello. Well, that works. And, well, I mean, we get the indies doing interesting stuff, but... Oh, this is a beast. It's not the same. It's not the same, guys. It's not as exciting as it was. So when you play these old games, it reminds you of that exciting mindset. I think the excitement now is just in other areas, to be honest. Like, for me, when you see some of these new titles coming out for VR and just how good VR is, that to me is equally as exciting in a different way. With the driving simulators, with like the sort of the ability to get direct drive wheels and stuff, and combining VR with driving sims, that to me is exciting again, but in a different way. But you just don't see the same. You don't get the same basic thing from just another FPS, is what I'm saying. But when you play this, it reminds me. It reminds me of those days. Right, where am I off to now? Look at the. I'm pretty sure they've definitely done the skybox improvements to this, because I'm pretty sure in the original the skybox was like very obviously just just you were in a room, very badly hidden that you were in a room. So they've done more improvements to this than just the RTX. Am I meant to be going down there now? Have I just backtracked? I think I've just gone in a big circle. I think we're just going backwards through the game here. I got a new gun, though. You guys are going to die of old age before I get to the end of this. We're back here. Okay, let's just assume that this is... we're doing the right thing. Don't worry, guys. We'll get there eventually. Those of you that have played this 100 times, you're now having a breakdown. Can we not get this water to go? Oh. Okay. What? There's like a delay between when you change time of day and it actually affecting the environment. That's cool. So we'll keep with sunset. It looks the best. Okay. Oh! This is now opened up. So what is that? What is that about? There wasn't actually anything in it of value. This guy doesn't like swimming. Who'd have thought swimming in acid could be so painful? No, that we came from that way. Then we went through here with the key. Ah, there it was. Oh, no. Oh, no, we went through there. Now we're going back through here. Oh, okay. There's a guy. That's a good sign. Oh, here we go. We just took a wrong turning. Okay. Apologies, guys. There's the exit. Ah, there it is. Man. I think that's a perfect place to end this video. Getting into this level. Doing that, the first level. Gives you an idea of what the RTX Quake 2 is like. It is Quake 2 with some nicer lighting. Which is what it says on the tin, so you can't really complain. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, click the like button and subscribe. Let me know if we should live stream this, because we always could. We could play through it as a live stream. I quite enjoy to go through Quake 2 and actually complete it properly. Might as well do it now. Better now than never. But I was kind of saving it for if I decide to become a Mars colonist and I need games to play on the 5-10 year journey to get there. You know, we have to stockpile these things. That's why I've built up my Steam library. Not because I keep impulse buying stuff that's on sale that I'm never going to play. But until the next one, guys, thanks for watching. Happy tea drinking. And goodbye, everybody.